I'm gonna basically summarize the entire story for you guys from beginning to end. Not like the entire story, but like for this chapter. Don't get too crazy. Anyways, sit back, enjoy, relax, get some popcorn, because it's gonna be a good 10-minute story, hopefully. After having fought Yeshingwan's brother, there was leftover residue in the hollow, and it was spawning this weird miasma. And we were like, why is it spawning this weird miasma? Well, it eventually started corrupting these flowers, causing more issues. So, obviously, that's no good. We are then introduced to this character called Lu Hang. He's like basically an elder from UK Summit. He basically tries to criticize Ye Shengguan because, she used the sword against her brother, which, he sees it as a way of misuse. Like, that's not your responsibilities. It's also not your problem. You shouldn't have used the sword in that situation. So, yeah, he tries to criticize her. And so he's kind of annoying because, instead of helping, he's belittling her. The only useful thing that he does do, he sets up a mission and he kind of lets Yishuan know that, like, hey, we're having this issue with these corrupted flowers. They've been popping up everywhere. So we're trying to deal with it right now. But Yishuan's like, I can't really help because I'm out right now. So, just take care of Yishuan. Make sure she doesn't use a chimney sword and, just take care of her. And the problem was, Yishuan kind of gets mad because Yishuan told her, like, don't use the sword on it's like a dire situation. So she's like, wasn't my brother's life hanging on by a thread a dire situation? Wasn't my friends being in danger a dire situation? So she gets really heated. But Yishuan, doesn't say anything. She just kind of stays quiet. So once the meeting is over, I think it's only Yishuan and Jufufu, and she's like, was I a bit too harsh on her? And, Jufufu's like, well, no. I mean, you lost your sister to the chimney sword. She gave out her life, and you're just trying to protect her. You're trying to protect Yeshengguan. So, it's fine. Like, we understand.
After my sister. After what happened to my sister, I can't lose another person to that sword.
Lu Hang, of course, being the annoying character that he is, blames Shi Yuan, which is Yishuang's brother, saying that he betrayed the organization UK Summit and, he shouldn't. Why should we look for him if he's a traitor? But, Yishuan was like, I looked into it and he actually tried to communicate with us and he tried to send messages, but they were blocked. So therefore, he's not a traitor. So, like, F off. All right, anyways, let me summarize the effects of the chimney sword because, a lot of you guys might not know what it does. So basically, you first lose your memory, then you lose your senses. Then you get consumed by the sword and you die. And so once you die, the wielder dies. It needs to be placed in a special sheath for it to contain its powers because if you don't, it goes on a rampage and it destroys everything around it until, there's nothing left. So it's put in a sheath and then the next successor is chosen. And yeah, the cycle repeats every time the user dies. So Yishuan, the caring master that she is, sends Shufufu to go ask her some questions, and then she answered them all correctly. So it's like, okay, so maybe the sword isn't affecting you, so you're good. So, they go on their merry way.
Is someone there? Junior. Finally, we meet again.
Wait, I know you.
Surprised? Thought I was your sweet, well-behaved senior? Too bad. The one standing here now is a beast who just wants to survive.
So as we saw in the clip, we end up finding out that Ye Shengguan had another side to her, which is like complete opposite of her former self. So her former self is like self-righteous. She likes to protect her friends. She's willing to give her life. And the other side of her is like, I'm not gonna die for other people, especially like people I don't even know. Like I just save me. So she like begs Belle, like, please save me. Don't let my other side just like let me die. And then we get curious. We start asking around like, hey, did you guys know that she had another side to her? And like nobody knew apparently besides us. So Zhao is an agent from Krampus, some organization. And so like there's two organizations, Krampus and Tops. They're like working together. I don't know if they merge or they have some business deal, but they're basically related, right? So she was sent by Krampus or Tops and she meets up with us and she asks us to investigate the hollow because there have been some abnormalities with the miasma surrounding the flowers. And Yeshengguan is like, can I go and help? I want to help. And she's like, yeah, you can go. And also, like, she kind of tries to like intrigue her by saying like, I also spotted your brother in the hollow, so he might be around that area. And Ye Shengguan doesn't have any lead, so she's like, okay, I'll bite. And so she goes and we go and find him. So this is where we meet our next character. It's a Bangaboo, and we chase after him, we catch up, and then we notice that he's kind of malfunctioning. We're like, okay, so this guy's kind of broken. But he works enough to tell us the story. Once he starts working again, like he tells us about a void hunter called Sunbringer. And he tells us that Sunbringer was the one that created him and named him. So his name is Lockspring, which is our character. So Sunbringer is the void hunter, and then Lockspring is the Bangaboo. We have a special moment with Yeshengwan. She admits that she's afraid and that is scared of the unknown. Belle relates to her, saying when she was a child, she fell from a cliff and it was terrifying for her. But as she got older, she went back to the same spot and realized that the cliff wasn't big at all. And if anything happens, she will always be there to catch her no matter what. This is kind of interesting because we hear this story multiple times within the whole story. And I'll show you guys the clips. I mean, you guys can listen to it yourselves.
Don't be fooled by how I look, okay? Ever since I joined Yunquei Summit, I've actually been secretly training a lot. Catching you is no problem at all. So next time you have that nightmare, just tell yourself, no matter what happens, I'll be there to catch you. You won't have to be afraid anymore.
Junior. Okay, I won't be afraid. When I have that nightmare again, I know you'll be there. I believe you'll catch me. I know that as long as you're by my side, I can do anything, even touch the sun. Actually,
Yeshengwan's other half shows up unexpectedly and explains to us that the Chimney Sword is actually two entities inside the sword fighting with each other. And the fighting has lasted so long that like the energy kind of sips out of the sword and starts destroying everything around it. And so there needs to be a mediator to stop the fighting, and that is the chosen wielder of the sword, which in this case right now is Yeshengwan. Now I know what most of you are thinking. Isn't it very similar to what Yeshengwan has been experiencing right now? There's like two sides of her. There's two entities in the sword that don't correspond with each other. So there's like this diversity, which this was kind of a big foreshadowing about the story. I think they could have been a lot more clever with it. But they do throw in some plot twists, which we'll go over in a second. So the day ends, Belle has a dream, and it's like her as a child with Yeshengwan as a child. And then Belle walks up to her and asks her what's wrong because, she was crying. And she's like, well, my music box broke. And Belle's like, well, I'm good at fixing stuff. I can fix it for you. And so she fixes the music box. But regardless of her doing the act of kindness, she's still crying. And Belle's like, why are you still sad? Yeshengwan proceeds to ask her a question.
If you knew the road ahead led straight into an abyss, would it still be worth moving forward?
Oh, that's a tough question. Give me a second to think.
This is for me? Thank you. It smells so sweet and tastes delicious.
About what you asked earlier, I don't really have an answer either, but I'd like to tell you a story. I fell from a really high place a long time ago. I leaned over to admire some pretty flowers below, and accidentally slipped.
What happened after that?
Other than a sore butt, nothing at all. It turned out the ground below was just a patch of grass. Something I only realized after falling. Sometimes, if you don't take a step forward, you'll never know what might happen. But if you give up, it's all over.
So maybe the abyss I imagine isn't really that scary after all? Thank you. I think I understand a little better now.
After Yeshengwan purifies a flower, her condition worsens, and she loses her senses and ability to see.
We did it!
I have to purify all of them.
Oh, not in your condition.
If I don't do this, everyone will be in danger. My dear Junior.
We find her brother, which he mentions there's a way to save his sister, and they have to use the power of the creator, which kind of put everybody on edge because they're like, we just kind of defeated him. But he's like, but hear me out. Like, this is probably going to be the only way we can save her. Obviously, Belle agreed because like, I do want to save her. So I'll do whatever it takes to save Yi Xingguang. So we activate this device. And it puts us in a dream state, and we are able to be in like Yi Xingguang's memory or mind. And we have to reach out to her to reignite her taste, touch, and sight because she lost half her senses. And then eventually we kind of save her from inside the dream state or whatever she was stuck on. And so we kind of bring her back temporarily. Like, it's not a permanent fix yet with the sword, but it does kind of give us a chance to find out what is going on.
Never forget these memories. Never.
Xiaogong! Hold on to me! It's not over yet! I'll bring you home!
Junior's hand. It's so warm. So comforting. Suddenly, I feel like if I just hold this hand, maybe I too could go anywhere. Just like you.
Of course you can go anywhere. You always could.
We do get a bit of backstory with Zhao. I'm not going to spend too much time with her because I don't think her story is really that big. She just basically grew up in a big family. They all had to fight for survival. And she had this ideology of equivalent exchange, which is going to be very important later on in the story because it's related to the ending. She believed that her life wasn't special, but Yi Xingguang kind of reassures her, saying like, no, like everyone has a purpose, even you, and we are here for each other. As we have this conversation, we get attacked by top members, which they are part of the Krampus organization, which is where Zhao is from. Then it's revealed that Zhao's mission was actually to take the Qingming sword from Yi Xingguang, and she was disobeying orders, and she's like, I'm not going to sell out, and I'm gonna protect her. Like, I'm not gonna listen to you guys. The guy's basically like, are you gonna use promotion? You're gonna lose everything. And she's like, I don't care.
I'll give you one last chance. Are you sure you want to betray Tops? Throw everything away and go back to being that worthless nobody?
All the wealth, the honor, the protection. I don't want any of it. Right now, all I want is for my friends to live, to hold on until the very end. Go on ahead. Finish your mission. Don't worry. I'll catch up soon. Now, let's end this quickly!
Since I talked about Zhao, there's another plot twist. Lockspring was actually trying to revive the creator, but not because he was evil. He was trying to protect everyone from feeling pain because he felt a lot of pain and he felt like the current world that he's in is just too toxic and he wants everything to be okay. By doing that, he's trying to bring back the creator, but Belle tells him like, no, the creator is actually not salvation, but destruction. Then we kind of hear his backstory saying, well, when Sunbringer vanished, I got a new master and he told me to kill an elderly woman, but he refused. He was like, I'm not going to attack this elderly woman, which kind of conflicted with his programming because his programming is like protect humanity, but also listen to your master. So he kind of just stood there and then obviously he got a kick in the face, which is probably why he has a broken eye. But anyways, despite our efforts to try to convince him to not do this, he doesn't listen. He gets into this robot. We kick his butt and we take him down. But he managed to buy some time in order for the creator to be revived. And yeah, that's going to cause issues later on.
Watch out! Xiaogong! Why? No!
This is the fate I chose.
Finally, it's mine.
For your descent! And let this body be your prison!
Junior. I'll have to break our promise. But this is the only way. The Creator's power comes from the same source as this sword. That's why I know better than anyone how strong and untouchable they truly are. We can't beat this invisible force head on. I have to become their vessel first, and then destroy myself to stop them. That's the only way we might have a chance to win.
Lost is your life. What kind of a win is that?
Xiao Xiao, Junior, go. I don't want to see anyone else get hurt because of me anymore.
No way we'd ever leave you! Chobong, don't give up! There's gotta be another way!
I'm not giving up. I'm only protecting the things that matter more than my life. For everyone in Pylum Heights, for my friends, and for you. Junior, please, be happy for me. I've never felt more alive than I do right now. Meeting you has changed my life for the better.
There has to be another way! This is the same as... There's still time! I will bring you home! See? I got you, Senior.
So everyone's trying to get to the point where there's like this giant metal ball, and they're trying to get to it to stop the miasma from gathering there because they know that the revival of the Creator is coming. So we have Miyabi, you know, we have the spooky team going towards the middle. Everybody's trying to play their part in this.
Are you okay?
They're absorbing the Qingming sword's power!
Only by truly mastering the power of the sword can I execute them.
Don't tell me you're planning on using it again!
Thank you, Belle. But I won't hesitate anymore. Even if I'm destined to forget, I'll keep trying to remember again and again. Even when trembling with fear, I will still stand in front of my friends. Even if I fall 1,000 times, I'll crawl up and fight again. That's the power that pulls people back from the abyss over and over again. We never needed gods. All we needed were our own hands to hold on and lift each other up.
equals. One day, you'll all...
It's finally done.
And so that concludes the story. In the end, Ye Shengwan is granted the status of Void Hunter, which is awesome. I honestly thought she was a Void Hunter in the beginning, but I guess not. But now she's a Void Hunter. She has control of the sword. So it turns out that like because she found true peace within herself and she managed to accept the side of her that she hates, it changed the energy in the sword to correspond to that energy. So now the sword is not trying to kill her. I think there's still negative effects with the sword. I think they mentioned that they're still trying to like figure out how to fix it, but I think it slowed down the process of it actually killing her, which is a good thing. Which makes me think, I think this is what Yi Xuan's sister was trying to do, but she failed. So she ended up losing her life. And so maybe like you have a time limit to figure it out. And then we end up fighting that these weapons that they have, they're called the Void Hunter weapons, which are significant. So we end up finding out that Zhao was not there to take the sword from Ye Xuan. Tops wanted Zhao to change her ideology of equivalent exchange and that this was a way for her to grow as a person, which is pretty interesting because, you know, they actually did a lot and used a lot of resources to do this. But, you know, one thing that I did find interesting in the end, Yi Xuan tells us that the reason why she took so long is because she met up with an enemy that was at Void Hunter level. Now, I do have some theories with this, and you guys might have some theories as well. I do believe that either this is Sunbringer or it's an entity similar to Sunbringer. Maybe they used some of her energy and created an enemy that made it to be like Void Hunter level. Because we still haven't met up with Sunbringer, so that could possibly be her manipulated or her powers being used for evil, like they managed to extract her powers and like replicate them or somehow. Yeah, this was very like interesting. I thought like, oh, okay, so this kind of setting up for, you know, the next chapter. In the end, there's an issue with Belle where she's getting corrupted by the energy that we got from the creators. So like it's kind of heating up and like there's a lot of mystery to what's going on. But obviously Weiss was very concerned. So I'll go ahead and show you guys a clip.
It hurts.
Belle, what's wrong? You all right? Should we go to the hospital? Wait, your hand.
What was that just now?
Is it back to normal? Belle, you've been acting strange ever since that day you saw the creator. We should probably get you checked out sometime. I'm not sure if they'll be able to find anything, but still.
It's fine, really. It's not that serious. Maybe we can ask the mayor later. He probably knows more than we do. Anyway, that's enough for today. Let's head back to our rooms and get some rest, okay?
Belle.
Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, catch you guys on the next one. And yeah, goodbye.